Okay, so imagine traveling the world, any country you want, and understanding every conversation, every announcement, like it's your native language.
Yeah, no more struggling with phrase books or awkward hand gestures, right?
Exactly. Like straight out of science fiction.
Well, it might feel that way, but that future, it's closer than you think.
And today we're gonna dive into how that's becoming reality, like the actual tech that's making it happen.
And some of it is, well, you might be surprised. You might already be carrying it around.
Yeah. So we've been digging into some really cool recent articles and announcements, and they all point to this idea that soon, real soon, language barriers could be a thing of the past, like gone.
Like a relic of the old days.
Exactly. So real-time AI language translation, that's our focus today, and specifically how this tech is starting to appear in the gadgets we use every day, the stuff you probably have in your pocket or your bag right now.
Yeah, I mean, your phone can already do some pretty impressive translation, but we're talking next level, right?
Right. So that's what we're doing here. Like our mission for this deep dive, I guess you could say, is to really understand like where this tech is right now, what it can do, show you the devices, making it accessible to everyone.
And maybe most importantly, really grasp what this shift could mean for the way we communicate globally, right? Like the big picture.
Absolutely. Okay,
Right.
So one of the pieces I sent over, it was all about this author who actually got to use Meta Ray-Ban glasses with live translation built in.
Yeah, I saw that one. Tried them out in Italy and Mexico, right?
Yep, and it gave this really strong "the future is here" vibe.
It definitely did.
So picture this, right? You're at I don't know, Leonardo da Vinci Fiumicino Airport, right?
Yeah.
In Rome. You hear an announcement in Italian.
Which for most of us is just like noise.
Right, but with these glasses, it picks up that speech and boom, instant English in your ear.
It said European passport holders this way or something like that.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just announcements. He was saying how he could understand bits of conversations happening around him.
Just getting the gist in real time. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing. So we're not talking about your phone, right? This is something you wear, like seamlessly integrated into your everyday life.
And that's huge. Like it's not some clunky separate device.
Exactly. But the article also said, it's not perfect, Still some kinks to work out.
Yeah, there were definitely some funny moments, right? Where the translation got a bit muddled.
Like you mentioned, sometimes the glasses would just miss a word, or like when there were a lot of people talking, it got confused,
Yeah, it makes sense, right? I mean, real-world conversations, they're messy. People talk over each other, slang, accents.
Right. And it shows, even with all the progress, AI still has some trouble with the nuances of, natural language, right?
Oh, absolutely. Natural language processing, or NLP as it's called. It's a whole field in computer science. And handling those subtle things in a live conversation, that's one of the biggest hurdles. But still, just the fact that it's working at all, in glasses, it's a huge leap forward.
Totally. Oh, and we can't forget the live AI feature. You can point the glasses at a sign in a foreign language, and it'll just translate it for you right there.
Yeah, no more frantically searching for the right word in your phrase book, trying to figure out what the heck Usita means.
Right. Imagine how much easier that'd make navigating a new city.
Especially if you don't even know the alphabet, right? Like in a country with a completely different writing system, it could be game-changing.
Huge for travelers, for sure. So Meta is doing their thing with glasses. But what about Apple? I know you mentioned something about their plans in this area.
Oh, yeah. So Apple's getting in on the action, too. And this kind of ties into the broader point that real-time translation, it's moving beyond just early experiments, This is becoming a serious focus for some of the biggest tech companies out there. There was this report from Bloomberg recently, and they're saying Apple is planning to build real-time translation directly into AirPods, like their wireless earbuds.
AirPods? Really? Wow. That's a lot of people, right? Like millions and millions use those every day.
That's exactly the point. It could potentially reach a huge audience, and they're saying it's going to be part of the iOS 19 update, so coming soon.
Wow. So if you're listening to this, how would that actually work for you?
So basically, the way they described it, your AirPods would pick up the foreign speech, right? And then it'd translate it to English right in your ear. And on the flip side, when you speak in English, your iPhone would pick that up, use their existing translation app to translate it, and then the translated language, it would come out of your iPhone speaker. Think of it as a back-and-forth interpreter, but all happening seamlessly right in your ear.
So smooth. That's incredible. I read somewhere they might announce it at WWDC, their developer conference, in June.
Yeah, that's what the report suggested, and a possible release in the fall. So not too far off at all. We could be talking about using this later this year. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's crazy how quickly things are moving. And Apple already has that Translate app, right? And it supports a bunch of languages already.
Yeah, like around 20, I think. So they're not starting from scratch, which means that the AirPods feature, it could have a decent amount of language support right out of the gate. They can leverage what they've already built, you know?
Makes sense. So Apple's jumping in, but they're not exactly the first, right? Google's been doing this with Pixel Buds for a while now, right?
Yeah, for quite a while, actually. Since 2017, they've been offering real-time translation through their Pixel Buds. So that's several years, of development and testing and refining the technology.
Wow, I didn't realize it'd been that long. So how does Google's approach compare to what Apple's supposedly planning to do? Like, are they similar?
Yeah, they've got this conversation mode, which is pretty much what we're expecting from the AirPods.
Yeah.
It picks up the foreign language, translates it, sends it to your ear, and then translates your speech for the other person, so that back and forth thing. But Google also has this other mode called translate mode. That's where it gets interesting.
Translate mode. Okay, so what's that all about? What does it do?
So translate mode does real-time transcription of foreign languages. Basically, it's like having live subtitles delivered right to your Pixel Buds. The article talked about how useful that could be for, say, if you're at a presentation or lecture in a foreign language, or even watching a foreign film, without subtitles.
So basically it just breaks down those language barriers in all these everyday situations, right?
Yeah.
Really handy.
Exactly. You're not limited to just conversations, You can use it to passively take in information as well.
That's awesome. What about language support for the Pixel Buds? Is it as extensive as, Google Translate itself?
So in conversation mode, they actually support over 100 languages, which is pretty impressive. But translate mode, the one with the transcription, it's a bit more limited right now. As far as we know, it supports French, German, Italian, and Spanish, so a bit more focused.
Interesting. So they're going broad with the conversational side, but keeping the transcription a bit more niche for now.
Yeah, and they mentioned that usually you need an Android device with Android 6.0 or later, and it needs to support Google Assistant.
Makes sense. So your average Android phone should work.
Yeah, pretty much. But what's really cool is that the newer Pixel phones, especially the ones with the Tensor processors, they can do even more.
Oh, right. Those Tensor chips. They're specifically designed for AI, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. Like Google designed them in-house to handle all those AI calculations super fast. And on those phones, the translation's even better. It's faster, more accurate, and it works in even more places, like text messages through your camera, in videos, even phone calls.
So Google's been building out this whole ecosystem for translation, all powered by their AI hardware. Pretty smart, right?
It is. They're playing the long game. But, it's not just the big tech giants like Google and Apple that are doing this. We found articles about all kinds of other companies making wearable translators, like specialized devices just for breaking down language barriers.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Like,
Yeah.
What kind of dedicated devices are we talking about here?
Well, these time kettle earbuds, the WT2 Edge and the W3, those kept coming up. People are saying they have really good accuracy, up to 95%, and they support a bunch of languages, both online and offline. Online, they do around 40, and offline, it's about 13 pairs.
They're pretty good coverage.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. And what's really cool is that they do simultaneous two-way translation. So you don't have to wait for someone to finish speaking, to hear the translation. It just flows more naturally.
Oh, that's so much better than those older systems where you had to take turns talking.
Yeah, it makes conversation much less stilted. Much more like, a regular back and forth.
Totally. What other dedicated translation devices were in the articles?
There's this one, the Vasco Translator E1. They're boasting support for like 51 languages. And they actually use 10 different AI translation engines, which is kind of interesting, right?
10? Why so many?
Well, the idea is that by using multiple engines, they can compare the results and choose the most accurate translation for a given situation. Plus, they have a feature for group conversations, like through an app. Oh, that could be really useful, like if you're traveling with a group or in a business meeting.
Yeah, definitely. And then there's this other earbud-style device, the Waverly Labs Pilot. Those are specifically designed for two people, each wearing an earbud speaking different languages.
Yeah.
So it's like having a personal translator just for you two.
Like a direct line just for that conversation.
Exactly. But the articles also talked about other types of devices, like smart glasses, but not just the Meta ones. Like a bunch of different companies are working on glasses with built-in translation.
Yeah, I remember that. Like, it seems like this is going to be a big area for this tech, right?
Definitely seems that way. So there's the Solos Ergo 3 smart glasses. They use their own platform, Solos Translate, along with OpenAI's ChatGPT for real-time translation.
So they're combining dedicated translation software with the power of a large language model like ChatGPT. That sounds like it could be really accurate, you know?
Yeah, it could be super smart and pick up on context really well.
Mhm.
And then there's the Brilliant Labs Frame AI glasses. These are open source, and they use AR, so augmented reality. AR, so that means they can overlay information, like the translations, right
Yeah.
onto your view of the world.
Exactly. So they can translate signs, menus, anything you're looking at. Plus, they can identify images and even search the internet, all while you're walking around. And they support different AI technologies like Whisper from OpenAI for speech to text and Perplexity for finding information.
Wow, that's like next level integration, right? It's like science fiction coming to life.
It really is. Like, imagine walking down the street in a foreign country and just instantly understanding every sign, every menu without having to pull out your phone or anything. And the articles also mentioned TCL AR glasses. They have a similar thing, like a heads-up display for translation during conversations. So this whole AR translation thing, it's definitely gaining traction.
And beyond the glasses and earbuds, were there any other interesting types of devices in those articles?
Yeah, they kind of skimmed over a few others just to show how much variety there is out there. There's the Time Kettle X1 and 0, the K&F Concept Language Translator, the Illy Wearable Translator, and then I think they mentioned the Vasco Translator E1 again.
Just to really drive home the point that there's a lot of choice, a lot of innovation happening.
Exactly. Like the main thing for you to take away is that this core technology, the ability to understand and be understood across different languages, it's not some far-off dream. It's here, right now, in all these different forms, and it's getting better all the time.
It really is amazing to see how many companies are jumping into this, all these different approaches. It feels like we're right on the edge of this technology becoming like truly mainstream, like
Yeah.
something everyone has access to.
Yeah, and that's exactly where the articles suggest we're headed. Think about how many people use AirPods already, like 100 million daily users, according to some reports. If Apple adds real-time translation to those, it's going to be huge, right?
That many people. Yeah, that's a game changer. What about Meta? What are their predictions for those Ray-Ban glasses?
They're thinking they'll sell over 10 million pairs by late 2026, which means their live translate and live AI, those features could become pretty commonplace. Like, you could see people wearing those glasses everywhere, you know?
So it seems like pretty soon, most audio wearables, earbuds, headphones, smart glasses, they'll all have some form of real-time translation.
Yeah, on demand or even automatic. Like, you might not even have to think about it. It'll just happen.
That's wild. But the articles also mentioned some downsides, right? Like, could this make people less likely to actually learn languages?
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, if it's so easy to just translate everything, why bother putting in the effort to learn a new language, right?
Yeah.
And that could lead to an over-reliance on AI for communication, which could have its own set of problems, you know?
Right. It's like there's this trade-off, incredible convenience and access on one hand, but maybe losing some of that cultural richness that comes with learning a language.
Yeah.
The effort you put in to understand another culture.
Absolutely. Something to think about for sure. But the benefits, I mean, breaking down language barriers, that's huge.
Oh, yeah. Imagine being able to connect with people from all over the world so easily.
The articles highlighted how this could be especially beneficial for digital nomads, people who are constantly moving between different countries and cultures.
Makes sense. Like for those people, the ability to communicate, no matter where they are, that would be a game changer.
So bringing it all together, what we learned today is that real-time AI translation is evolving fast. It's going from this niche tech to something that's going to be in all the devices we use every day.
And that means, for you listening, the world could become a much smaller place, a much more connected place.
And a much easier place to navigate, no matter where you go or who you meet.
Exactly. It's pretty exciting, but it also leaves us with a big question.
Like, what does this all mean for us in the long run, right?
Yeah. As this tech gets better, more seamless, more integrated into our lives, how will it change our relationship with other cultures and languages? Like, will we see the emergence of a truly global conversation? Or will something be lost in translation beyond just the words themselves, something deeper, you know?
It's definitely something to ponder as we move into this new era of communication. It's going to be fascinating to see how it all unfolds.
Definitely a lot to think about.
Absolutely.